Namaskar, good afternoon. It's about the 3rd of February right now, and I'm doing this video. I'm talking about the reincarnation of the enlightened master. No, according to the Hindu culture and the Hindu mythology, this says that there have been many Brahmas, many Vishnu, many Shiva. And for those who understand this Hindu mythology, they say there are cycles, that each Brahma, each Shiva, and each Maheshwar, Vishnu, they all have their own cycle or time where they reign, and then another Brahma, another Vishnu, and another Shiva come. This goes to the same for the Sapta Rishis, that depend on the cycles of the creation, the cycles of the world, and so they are kind of like, have their own time in which they, just similar this, there have been many Buddhas before the one who came. But what really happened is that every individual and every person, through evolutionary processes, they are able to reach the climax of evolution, which is like a Christ or a Buddha or a Ramakrishna or a Sri Murti or a Swami Pranavananda or a Vivekananda. Eventually, but people can reach there gradually. Some people, they get the grace of God. Some people, they struggle for it. Some people, after many incarnation lifetimes, they finally obtain this pearl of great price, the elixir of immortality, as it is known in various cultures and remedy. This is something called self-realization or enlightenment. But there are various stages, also various sizes, various packages that enlightenment comes in. There is the small enlightenment, like enlightenment which is known as Sahaja Yoga, and like the Satori in Japanese, or the Nirvana in Buddhism. But in the yoga system, these are called like Sahat Samadhi and Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Savikalpa and Nirvikalpa. One is Mukti, one is Moksha. But they say like Hakuin Zenji, the Japanese master, he had many small realizations and many big ones too. So the many big ones come for these great masters, these great enlightened souls like Buddha, Ramakrishna. These sometimes come for people like these rare souls, Sometimes the Guru just passes on the mantle by a touch. Like Ramakrishna touched Vivekananda and he transformed, he changed. So each of these people at some point in evolution time, they appear and they represent the actually the cream of evolution, the elixir of life, So in the case of like Sri Ananda Murti Ji, people say he's Lord Shiva. They say the same for Swami Pranavananda. He was born on Shivaratri. And Lord Dattatreya and all these people, they all say the same thing, that they are special incarnation. The devotees say like this, but there are also people who want to fight and defame. But I think the best crutch we can lean on is that the techniques of Sri Ananda Murti were tested scientifically. The results were remarkable. So when it comes to like him being a Lord Shiva or a Krishna, his devotees claim that he has reached the highest point like Shiva, and Krishna, that Shiva has taking the form of Anandamurti, and the embodiment of Krishna and Shiva is there in Anandamurti. What we know is that in Namami Krishna Sundaram, which was compiled by devotees of Sri Sri Anandamurti, the Krishna was described, or the enlightened master, they are referred to as Purna avatars. They've been described as comprising of lights. You know, they have certain rays of light, like their body has radiation, luminosity, and we can think in terms like when Jesus, the transfiguration of Jesus on the mount, when he went to pray, he saw Elijah and Moses appeared with him, and his body was radiant that the disciples had to hide their faces. You know, like 1,000 suns, as some people say, you know, 1,000 suns put together. So it's the same thing. We find that these Purna avatars, they have rays of light. And if you read John Blufield's book, Autobiography of a Western Buddhist, he speaks about the light of the Taoist masters, the light which these Rinpoches possesses, you know. If we know they are rainbow bodies, where some of the Rinpoches and enlightened Tibetan masters, the Bodhisattvas, the bodies, before the time of death, the body shrink very, very small, and then it disappear into a multitude light, you know, light band, a band of light rays, you know. So this is kind of like one of the signs of enlightened master, that they are lights, certain lights and auras and halos they have. They have been always compared to lights, sound, and these kind of things are associated with master. Certain says you can find in their palms and the soles of the feet certain signs, certain like palmists, they can see certain signs, certain designs of the hand and the feet, like the conch or a flower, the lotus, and different design, the lines in the hand or palms were taken. So, but in the case of Anandamurti Ji, the disciples saying he's Shiva, he's Krishna, and they use this mode in the form of Guru Bhakti Yoga, where the Guru is worshipped as Shiva and Krishna. This particular school of thought says there is no need for any other gods, only Shiva and Krishna alone is important, and the Guru represents the highest point of yoga, or the highest achievement in yoga. You know, when you practice in yoga, you want to know when you're enlightened. What are they? What you look? What are the signs? What are the qualities? So we have Sri Anandamurti Ji embodies these qualities. For example, he could speak in all the languages. Devotees from all over the world, when you meet him, he could speak their language. He can give spiritual experience. He knows a past, present, future. He was a Trikala Jigyani, as they put it. He could have the 8 occult powers, the Siddhis, Ashta Siddhis, and the Riddhis. They are there. So those are the signs. Now, one day, you know, I was going to tell you something that it was a long time ago. I was in Stroudville. At that time, Malaysia, Hernando from New Zealand was working here. And we would go over weekends we had a center in Stroudville. So we went there. I went there, and I saw one day Dada was out or something, you know. He was outside in the yard or talking with people. And I found a number of documents on the table, and I went through them thinking they were probably notes, probably lecture notes, probably another mark documents, because usually they would come in this paper form, you know, stapled together. And so I was looking through, and I found one document there which spoke about the previous lives of Anandamurti Ji. They said 3 lifetimes before he achieved enlightenment. Now this came as a shock, because I thought he was actually Lord Shiva who came down here, but now I find another document saying that he was just an ordinary soul, that through sadhana and spiritual practice, in his first realized incarnation, he was a Vedic Pundit. And then afterwards, you know, they say he then achieved enlightenment, like as a he was a Muslim fakir, and he was enlightened even in that incarnation as a Muslim. Now this came as a surprise to me because many people are discrediting, they are uninspired with Islam, and even though it's a big religion like Christianity, people are not very inspired by Islam. Here we see Anandamurti saying that in one of the incarnation as a fakir, a Muslim fakir, probably he was living in India or I do not know where, he was enlightened. So his first life he was a Vedic Pandit, the second life he came as a Muslim. And I keep reading on and I see in the final stage, the third incarnation, he was reborn as Srishanandamurtiji, a tantric incarnation. So this was, I saw this and then I also read it once somewhere again in another Anandamarg literature, that Baba had 3 incarnations before. Now this is when these enlightened masters, when they die, they don't take complete merger or union, mystical union with the infinite. They usually remain in some other dimension and some plane where they can help other souls and beings in those realms and those dimensions and so on. So I was also read that they said that he, as an enlightened master, after he died, he would be helping disciples more, you know, that he would be like be able to help people more from the astral plane in the invisible body. I don't know how this is. They said more he isn't so confined to his physical incarnation when he was alive. He couldn't move, he couldn't go around physically, so he uses disciples. They were his representatives and they kind of give the initiation or the diksha because they were instructed by him, empowered by him to transmit Shakti or what's the initiation and so on. They transmitted the mantra and the techniques because he authorized them. But other than that, they say you just cannot learn just like that by yourself from books. They won't take you to the highest, and the problems and the difficulties, you won't be able to deal with them so much, So he will be helping you as an invisible guide, kind of like invisible helper, So this much I can say for enlightened masters, that the guru doesn't die. Physically he may die, but he's always there for the disciple who believes and so on, So each guru offers a particular way, particular technique and systems and so on. So people usually choose depending upon their tempo. As for me, I chose Anandamarg because here in Guyana, where we don't have much choice, we just have a few yoga schools and they by themselves are not very inspiring, and what they have here is not so much like what you may find in India or in the West and so on, the teachers, quality of teachers, students and so on. So Anandamarg is a big organization. It offers initiation and all the lessons up to a certain level, up to the 6 lessons, and after that you may, if you want higher, the organization or the board left by Baba, the members, the teachers created by Baba, they will have to help you. For example, I would like to go higher. I would like to become a Tattvika. I would like to become an Acharya, to give initiation and teach. For example, an Acharya is not always available here. You can't find them here always. So what I was thinking is that maybe if I can become a Tattvika and an Acharya, I can teach people by myself, give them asanas, mantras, and this will help some of the work, the traveling from people, from Acharyas and monks who have to raise money to come here and so on. So I don't know, it will cost for me to travel. I will have to go abroad to learn, to get training, advanced training. Also, I would have liked to get Vishesh Yoga, but those advanced, very advanced training, that's for many senior acharyas do that. I don't know if I'll be lucky in this life. I was hoping that I'll be able to travel But situations and so family, socially, nationally, and so on, people have to think in terms of society and circumstances before you do all these things, you know. But another great alternative is if the guru himself appears to the student himself, he can also teach all of these lessons, the higher teaching. But those are for very special students, high students. So all in all, I would say encourage you that the guru is Brahma, the guru is Vishnu, the guru is Maheshwara. He is the highest all the time. He is the representative of the Hindu pantheon, the Hindu gods. Now mostly so for the America, he is representative of Lord Shiva and Krishna Tantra sadhanas, Shakta and the Shivite sadhanas. Namaskar. Happy Saturday.